This is yet another top 5 animated list, this time on Studio Ghibli? Ghibli? I'm gonna call it Studio Ghibli. I could be totally wrong, but let's get straight into the video. Stage left! Studio Ghibli are a Japanese animation studio, probably best known for the film Spirited Away, which I won't be talking about. While it is good, it's so often praised that I've decided to use this time to talk about a less known, equally enjoyable film from the studio, The Wind Rises. The story of Jiro and his journey to become an aero engineer amidst the start of World War II. Mostly grounded with expertly judged use of purposeful, modest fantasy sequences, the film expertly displays creativity by showing how mundane items give Jiro plain design inspiration. It also gives a sense of relatable idealization and drive. A sparingly used but considerably developed love story adds texture, as do several meaningful, natural, politically tinged conversations. Like Jiro, the hero's meeting with an anti-Nazi German, whose huge nose surprisingly didn't inspire him to design a plane. It inspired me though. The Wind Rises is equally restrained, imaginative, realistic and emotional, suffering only from the need to show Jiro's uncertainty and guilt more strongly. To send a stronger message, my knowledge of Google has led me to discover that Jiro really did exist, even though this film is apparently a heavily fictionalized version of his life. Next up, Howl's Moving Castle. After being cursed with old age by a powerful witch, a shy hat maker is employed by a young wizard who's attempting to avoid being drafted into a war. The story is original and the world is layered with surprising changes in character roles and enjoyable dynamics. Complex views on morality can be found here, with a balanced sense of jeopardy and wonder that's used to explore relatable themes like old age and the horrors of war. The English dub features well-selected performances from Billy Crystal, Christian Bale, Emily Mortimer and Gene Simmons. Not that one. And there's an endless sense of style and imagination. The only issue this imaginative, amazingly drawn, well-plotted film has is length. Towards the end of the film, after it feels like the story's been concluded, extra conflict continues to be added almost unnecessarily, although with this criticism in mind. These scenes are exciting enough to still hold attention, so this is less problematic than it can be in other films. Grave of the Fireflies. Whew. Two young siblings navigate through war-torn Japan. The film is a visceral, unsaturated, moving examination of hardships that expertly displays the importance of small pleasures in times of crisis. Incidentally, this film displays the most clever, symbolic use of boiled sweets in cinema since the last really clever symbolic use of boiled sweets in cinema. You know the one I mean. Symbolic boiled sweets the movie. The director, the late Isao Takahata, wisely chooses to ensure that the hellishness of war is secondary and used simply as a means to characterize a believable, heartfelt family relationship. This is a brilliantly drawn, restrained, emotionally challenging film with surprising moments of hope and tranquility, which was tragically based on an autobiographical short story. This is a film that everyone owes it to themselves to see, even if it's just once. It might have to be just once, to be fair. I am not using the term emotionally distressing lightly. Only minor issue in this otherwise excellent film is that the opening scene, that begins at the story's end, would have been much more impactful if just shown chronologically at the end. This is the only film in the list that I strongly urge you to watch in Japanese with subtitles. The English dub is nowhere near as well done as they usually are. Now for my number 2 pick, Porco Rosso. Cursed former war pilot who now has the face of a pig, I can relate, experiences conflict from incompetent pirates. The characterization in this film is incredibly rich. Within minutes of each lead's introduction, their important traits have been exposed with casual brilliance. The English dub has understated, layered performances from Michael Keaton and Susan Egan, who's Meg from Hercules. I've saved you from pausing the film, asking everyone if they recognise the voice, and then googling the English dub cast. Not that I did any of that. The plot advances at a seamless pace, textured by engaging backstory and character dynamics, forceless historical context, political fantasy metaphors, and restrained hints of romance. The art style is unsurprisingly impeccable, with charm and attention to detail set against a casually vibrant backdrop. Porco Rosso brilliantly showcases the range of director Hayao Miyazaki, who's actually directed 4 of the 5 films on this list, so maybe I'm praising him more than I'm praising Ghibli. There's flawless balance between distinctive, well-timed humour, emotion, captivating action, strong characters, and understandable investing storytelling. The only possible issue is the slightly unclear ending, which didn't actually tarnish my enjoyment at all. This is the best film I've possibly seen all year, and in my opinion deserves much more credit. And finally, Princess Mononoke. When attempting to lift a curse placed on him, the young Ashitaka is embroiled in a war. There's a lot of war in these films, between Irontown residents and forest dwellers. This film employs all the major strengths of the others on a grander scale. Amazing artwork, brilliantly three-dimensional characters, we're all given compassion and ruthlessness, captivating changes in power, moments of quiet, important subtlety, energetic, finessed action sequences, and a measured sense of fantasy used to relate real-world themes of environmentalism in a non-preachy way. Princess Mononoke takes inspiration from a variety of sources to carefully create a fully actualized sense of place that's at once fresh and familiar. Another Miyazaki film that shows his ability to balance style and substance. There are strong performances in the English dub, and the only possible criticism I could think of is that Ashitaka is arguably blander than a lot of the characters surrounding him, but he's still got more than enough identifiable traits to avoid becoming fully bland. I highly recommend this film to anyone with even a casual interest in war films, fantasy, or animation in general. And so my video ends. Apologies for any and all mispronunciations made in this video. I had to leave out quite a lot of great films from this studio just because of time restrictions, so please feel free to leave your top 5 Ghibli films in the comments below. Incidentally, if anyone wants the rights to Symbolic Boiled Sweets the movie, you're welcome to them, just credit me. For all the one of you who are interested, I've done some other top 5 animated videos, I'll leave the links on screen, and thanks for watching.